Hello, everybody. I'm Jaspreet, and I am in the process of creating this new YouTube channel. And I think it's still an evolving thing. I'm not entirely sure what it will be, so I'm just kind of going with it. But at the moment, what I feel like it could be for me is a way in which I can document my journey that I'm on at the moment, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But yeah, like I want it to be a space where I can document what is going on with me, and I also would like it to be something that people who may be going through a similar journey to me, or in the process of going through that journey, they can kind of see it coming for them. I want it to be something that can help anyone else who's out there. And in terms of this journey, I guess what I want to share on that front, which I know more of that journey will come through, is I've been deliberately taking time out for me over the past over 18 months. I haven't actually counted how long it's been, but I basically stopped working full time in September 2018, and I deliberately decided to take that kind of step in my life. I was ready for something completely different, and believe it or not, I had no idea what the next thing was for me. I just knew deep down inside that I wanted to be doing something else. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey since then, and I'm sure I will share a lot more around that in vlogs to come. But at the moment, I just want to say that I'm deliberately not working in the career that I used to be in, which was HR. And in the recent months, I have been feeling like I want to share more with the world, and I guess this is one of those ways that I can see myself sharing, but not just sharing. I guess the other thing I want to do is be able to help other people, and coaching has been an area of interest for me. I've been on a course for the last 3 months, coming towards the end of it. It's a body-oriented coaching course, and there's reasons behind why I decided to pick that particular course, which I'm sure I will explain. But at the moment, I just want to share that I have been on this kind of unknown journey since stopping work, and it's only in the recent months that I feel like a direction is being paved for me, and I'm choosing to explore that a bit more. And maybe as part of these vlogs, I will be sharing what my coaching journey is, and that being wanting to create a business around it, which I'm in the very early stages of. So perhaps this channel may also help people that are in a similar situation. So yeah, that's an introduction to me, and also what at the moment the channel feels like it might be. And like I can see myself maybe on a weekly basis touching base and just talking about whatever is going through my life, whether that's coaching related or something that's more personal. or to do with the situation that we're finding ourselves in and how we're dealing with those things and what I'm noticing and seeing. So yeah, I can see myself bringing in all kinds of things and it not being strictly business related or coaching related. And yeah, I guess finally, and this is probably where I see this kind of going, what I want to do is get into the habit of talking about things that I'm working on or something that I'm involved with at the moment. And kind of whatever emotions or thoughts it's evoking in me. So I'm going to try and narrow it down to 3 things. So 3 things that I'm looking forward to this week. And I haven't given it too much thought either. I'm on the spot thinking, kind of put down a few bullet points here of what I was going to say in the first video. But yeah, like what comes to mind when I think about 3 things? So one of the things that I'm looking forward to for this week is this weekend gone, I was part of something spectacularly magical, a network of women that have come into my life, which I had never imagined would be there, but they have, and it was something I felt like I needed during, I can imagine I felt like this probably last year as well, like needing people who are in a similar space to me, feeling a certain way about life as I am. But I found those networks through various means, and it was probably more on a one-to-one basis than a group. But this weekend, I was given the opportunity to be part of a network of women, amazing women, where we all touched base with one another and found out a little bit more about each other's lives, and we're all feeling like we're in the process of transitioning and we're searching for something, but we don't quite know what that something is, and we've kind of come into this space to see if by being together we can get more clarity around what that could be, but not kind of pressing for it, not forcing for it, just exploring ourselves a little bit more in a group setting, and eventually, because this is a 9-month process, coming up with something that we would like to take forward in the world, something that really resonates with us and which we think will, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to make a change in the world, it could be something that changes you, changes us significantly. But yeah, I mean, that change within can also create that change outside. So yeah, so I just had that weekend. It was basically like a kick-off weekend, and I'm feeling good vibes from it. With it being the start of the week, I feel like I've come into the week just feeling more grounded. Feeling like I'm not on my own. And I knew I wasn't before. Like, I've got amazing people in my life. But I guess the energy that we created over the weekend, and we had this little kind of segment where we shared a bit about ourselves, and then we heard the stories of the other women. There's something in that. There was like an energy that was created, and it's still lingering with me today in a different form. I guess I'm just feeling, I want to do this. I guess I'm feeling kind of held by that energy. yeah, this feeling of I'm not on my own, and I'm looking forward. So this week I'm looking forward to connecting with, we split off into groups, so I'm looking forward to connecting with my group of women and exploring who I am as a person, and hearing more about them and their lives, and yeah, kind of building a bond, building a connection. And these are women that I don't know, I've never met them, so yeah, it would be nice to connect in that way. So that's one thing that I'm definitely excited about. I think the other thing that I'm feeling, I'm getting a kind of feeling inside, is that even a is probably more on a personal level. So we don't know, I know things keep changing on a monthly, weekly basis with lockdown, and I guess one of the things that I'm looking forward to this week is hearing a little bit more about where we stand and if more opening up is going to be happening, because since we've been in lockdown I haven't seen my family, and yeah, like I haven't seen anyone besides my husband for this entire period. And as lovely as it has been to be in his company, it would just be nice to see some other people that know me really well, who I can just connect with off the bat and just chill out together. Yeah, so this week I think we're going to hear more about if we can connect with our families face to face. So I guess there's a bit of anticipation. I'm kind of like, it'll be nice to find out if that's a possibility, which I think it will be. So it will be like finding out when and then making that happen. And I think I'm really missing the family dog, Yogi. Like, I'm really like, because he's getting old and he's becoming a little bit more frail, and I just want to, I don't know if I'll be able to, but I just want to kind of give him a hug and to spend a bit of time with him. And obviously my parents. It's not that like there's an order of priority going on here, but yeah, like they've been away and come back to be in this lockdown situation, so it would be nice to see them since they've returned, and my sister as well. It would be good to not just hear her over the phone, but also see her. We've been maintaining contact through things like watching a movie together, not even doing the Netflix thing, just literally just tuning in at the same time over a movie, and that's been good. So there has been pluses to being in this situation, because I don't think if we hadn't been in lockdown we would have tried out things like that. And we've been playing Scrabble, which is a game that I don't know whether it's the game. I have never been a huge fan of Scrabble. In my childhood I used to hate playing this game, but I found myself being on an online version of it, playing against my sister, and doing pretty well initially, and then she goes and beats me, and now she doesn't want to play because I think she's decided she is clearly the champion of champions, so that's cool. But yeah, doing things like that. Good things have come out of this situation. So, yeah. And I think the final thing that I'm looking forward to is, I feel like I might be in the mood for making chocolate brownies this week. I'm not a huge cook, and when I do cook, it's not like breathtakingly amazing stuff. But yeah, like I've had this urge to want to make a brownie during the whole lockdown, but I couldn't obviously get hold of any plain flour, which meant there was no chance that I was gonna get this brownie happening. But flour's obviously back in stock, so I bought some last week, and the stuff is sitting over on the kitchen counter, and it's just literally making the time for it. So yeah, the process might not be that enjoyable, although licking the bowl at some point whilst it's being made, I'm sure that's something that I'll probably do to make it a little bit more enjoyable. But obviously, once it's all done and you sit down with that brownie and like cup of tea, and it's like, yeah, it's all good. And I'm sure I'll get the like, ooh, feelings inside. And I guess that's part of this, like, yeah, jokes aside, that's part of, you know, your own, I'm going to get all philosophical now, but it is part of the growth, isn't it? It's part of, you know, when you do things like that, it brings a different energy into your life. And that energy, like I was saying about the weekend, it carries through to whatever else you're going to be doing for the rest of the week. And you know, it's not always about being in high energy or good energy, because there is a point to having those lows. As hard as it is being in those lows, you learn so much in those periods. So yeah, I don't want to do it a disservice, but I think sometimes we choose things that don't necessarily serve us at all, and we always have a choice. Always have a choice. And even when, you know, something like making brownies, I know it's not gonna bring in the first client for my coaching business, but life isn't all about that, is it? It's not all about doing, you know, the day-to-day business work. It's also living. It's also feeding your body. Maybe things that aren't as unhealthy, but once in a while, right? Maybe once a day. It's okay to dip into that brownie for that source of comfort and joy or whatever it brings. So yeah, and then that will just flow into other areas of your life without you even realizing. People don't always expect that to happen, but I've found from my own experiences that that does happen, and it feels pretty good, but you don't necessarily realise that that energy flow is coming from something. So I've realised this magic in the world. It's no longer a secret because I've now shared it. So yeah, I encourage people to do the same thing. If you're having a moment where you're trying to put together that website, or, you know, you're in the process of working out what design you're gonna create, what brand you're gonna create, and you're really like, ugh, this is just overwhelming, because I know exactly how that feels. Remember, it's a choice. It's a choice that you're making to sit yourself down when you're feeling that way. And you don't need to. You can take yourself away, do something that nourishes you, that makes you feel all tingly and good inside. Or it might not even be that. Take yourself for a walk. I mean, the weather's supposed to be really good this week, so get yourself out, get some vitamin D into your body, and just give yourself that break. And then maybe when you come back to that task, it will just be a little bit easier. I mean, some of these tasks, they are mundane. No one likes doing them, but they do need doing. However, you can either do them feeling quite stressed and anxious and pressed to do them, or you can do them from a place of ease and flow and joy. I'm looking around because I'm just thinking, can you find joy in sorting out emails? If you put on some music in the background, then maybe. So yeah. So I guess just with that all in mind, I think that would be a nice place just to wrap it up and leave it there and see what happens for the rest of the week. I may plug back in and be like, oh yeah, I feel like talking, feel like saying a bit more. Or it might just be a weekly thing, so I'll come back to this space next Monday. But for the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of my journey. And maybe we can try and help each other through life. And if you're going down the route of coaching business, maybe even that. So who knows what this space will turn into. But yeah. Alright, well, take care. Speak to you soon. And I might just be back with a brownie.